Hey, if you guys are watching this video for ANT 2100 Intro to World Archeology, please let me know in the comments down below. And I do want to apologize for the shakiness of the video. I couldn't get my my laptop's desktop recorder to work, so just please bear in mind that this is. I tried use my phone. My phone's a good quality, but excuse the shakiness and overlapping silence in the video. It's trying my best here. I'm not a theater student or a film person, so just keep that in mind. Thanks.
Hi. When we think about beverages, we usually think of either beer, wine, hard liquor, or perhaps spirited drinks which require mixing of different ingredients. But have you ever really thought about where they originally came from and what they were used? In modern times today, we have very complex and intricate methods of creating alcohol, but let's take a look at how it was done before we had access to these methods. Let's take a look at ancient alcohol, beverages, and consumption. Origins of alcohol beverages. Alcohol beverages have been around for thousands of years. Many of the thoughts of origin point to China around 7,000 to 6,600 BCE in a drink called rice mead, where one of the main catalysts for this drink was rice along with honey and fruit. This was actually pretty impressive given the time frame. Many meads are solely concocted through the use of water, honey, and a form of yeast, but this one was very impressive for the time period, using materials that wouldn't normally be used to make a spirit quite tasty and be consumed. Geographic drinks. It is highly recognizable that given certain geographic locations, they were very different kinds of drinks. For example, in the Middle East, we see many wines being created from grapes, fermenting in clay vases. We also see the constant creation of mead in Scandinavian country, and also properties in countries owned by the Vikings. We see so many different variations of simple creations which vary from location to location. For instance, wine created in Italy will not taste the same as wine from Istanbul due to the different ingredients, processing methods, and rules for consumption. It is thought in ancient times that only the rich and powerful were able to get wine, and that is what is portrayed in many video games and even movies. This, of course, isn't the case in modern society. Anyone in the United States, which is where this video is being recorded, anyone 21 or older can buy a huge bottle of wine, white wine, for 15 bucks, or a small box of Chardonnay for $5. So it isn't limited to class or power anymore. Evolution through time. Through time, we see evolution of many things, from buildings to weapons and even people. We see evolution in the creation of alcoholic drinks as well. From the very crude way of fermenting in vases and leaving a dark area, we evolved to a more consistent and especially safer method. In the past, there was a very high possibility of getting sick and even dying from potentially poison from unsterile fermenting. In modern times, it's taken very seriously about how sterile materials and fermenting vessels are in order to make consistent and uniform tasting drinks. Ceremonial usages. In many ceremonies, we see the use of alcohol most predominantly in marriages, where the family of both individuals raise their glasses to toast to the good fortune of the newlyweds. Today, in the 21st century, we toast to many things, mainly major events in life, such as birth of children, birthdays, graduations, purchasing of properties, and so on and so forth. There are many circumstances where alcohol is consumed. It all varies from person to person in their opinions, but many major events where alcohol is consumed are generally perceived as toasting moments to bless good health and fortune. Ancient methods of brewing. Ancient methods of brewing were very crude and very unsterile. If this was done wrong, there was a very high chance of you getting sick, predominantly botulism, and even dying. But the method of obtaining a type of mead was very simple. All that was needed to make a basic mead was water, honey, a type of yeast usually extracted from granules of grain, and a vessel to contain all of these in. These were usually clay or ceramic vases or pots. Mixing all of these ingredients in the vessel, sealing it, only leaving a small gap or hole for gas to escape. If there wasn't any of these gaps or holes, there was a very high chance of the vessel exploding from gas buildup. Leaving it for a few weeks though, and draining it in another vessel, leaving behind the dead yeast and letting that mellow out. If you drink it though, before you mellow it out, it will taste like sheer jet fuel and burn going down and burn going out. After it mellows out for another month, then it is ready for consumption. Modern methods of brewing. Now, for modern methods for brewing alcohol, let's take a look at how wine is made, for example. Wine is essentially alcohol made from rotting fruit. In modern methods, it is 100 times more safer than if we were to do it in the 9000 BCE, where you could possibly die, of course, from getting sick and poisoning. In modern winemaking, it requires certain grapes for a specific taste. They are mixed with other aromatics, bittering agents, and sugar. This is put into a large vat at a controlled humidity, temperature, and light level. It is allowed to ferment for weeks, possibly months. After that, it is strained into barrels where it will sit to deepen its flavor. This usually takes months to years to happen, which also drastically increases its price. Then, once being tasted and approved, it is bottled and sold to the general public and is perfectly safe from any death incurring bacteria, fungi, and other microorganisms. Different materials yield different results. When it comes to materials used in making alcohol, we have to understand that different ingredients will yield different results. Ingredients used in rye whiskey is not the same as bourbon. They contain different flavors, complexities, and most importantly, ingredients. This is why classifying alcohol into categories to single out which hard liquor is which is more the general category used. We have the mains: rum, gin, tequila, vodka, brandy, and whiskey. We of course have subcategories to each of these, but these are the general terms associated with modern hard liquors. Modernization of beverages. This is where we see such a big change. When we take a look at the modernization of beverages, we see such a drastic improvement from the extremely crude methods used thousands of years ago to the more sophisticated, cleaner, and safer method that is used today. In today's world, it is no longer only the rich and wealthy who can drink wine or scotch. As methods become more safer and mass production is more available, it became very easy to obtain alcohol as long as you had the money and are 21 or over in the United States. Through the development of liquors, we have drinks called cocktails, which were invented a few hundred years ago and have become really popular in modern society. Where we stand today. Now, where we stand today is that we can see such a drastic change from the very ancient, very unsafe methods of making alcohol to very safe and modern forms of creating drinks. So easy, in fact, that as long as you are 21 or older, have water, honey, yeast, and a water jug, as well as a balloon, you can make a very basic mead in your home for your own consumption, as long as you drink responsibly. But to conclude today, we had taken a look at the history, the origin, the process, as well as the modernization from ancient alcohol beverages to what we have today. And how modernization has changed all of this is that we have much more reliable, much more safer, much more better means of making beverages for consumption, as well as being sold to raise such economy value. And this is my works cited page. I had taken many different resources from instance Penn Museum, as well as many different other alcohol enthusiastic websites in order to get the information needed.
Alright, you guys have made it through 10 minutes of straight boredom talking about ancient alcohol beverages. If you liked the video, let me know. If you aren't from ANT 2100, Intro to World Archeology by taught by Dr. David Walton. If you guys are in that class, please let me know in the comments. But thank you for watching the video and bearing in mind of my horrible filming skills and trying to read my information off to you guys as much as I can. It was a very interesting subject to learn about. Learned a lot of stuff I didn't know about, but I hope you guys learned something as well, and yeah, catch y'all next time.